So, Emma, wifey dear, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about surviving the first year of school.
Hello there, and welcome back to Conversation with the Crippen Clan. We have our imaginary blanket fort set up in the school playground, ready for some chat today, usually about babies and toddlers. I mean, most of this conversation is about 4-year-olds. It's a fun, honest, unscripted conversation all about the realities of parenthood. We are the first people to ever talk about parenting on the internet.
That is not true.
Oh, or should we say who we are?
Oh,
I'm
yes.
Elliot. I'm the one who Lily never wants me to do the school run because I'm boring.
And I remember, and I nearly always have to do the school run unless it's physically impossible for me not to, because Lily is desperate for mummy to always be the one to drop her off.
Yeah. As mentioned, we have 2 daughters. We have Lily, the oldest, who's just turned 5.
Yeah.
And we have a younger one, Lola, who's 18 months.
Nearly 19 months.
We're not celebrities or experts, but we're just kind of normal parents who share some of our experiences, and you were along for the ride.
Yeah, enjoy.
It's time for Parenting Achievement segment.
Parenting achievement time. Have you got one at the ready?
I thought we should talk about, not last night before, when we were in London. For our daughter turning 5, one of the things we've done is we took her to London to see Wicked, the musical.
Yeah, because if people haven't listened before, Lily loves musicals, which I know for someone who's just turned 5 is quite young, but that is her thing. Loves a musical.
And I want to say up front, I mentioned this when Lily, back then our only child, turned 3, and now I can repeat it again. We have to pay for everything. What's going on? With a child that's turned 5, there's very little now that's kind of free.
Even the train we have to pay.
That's what I mean. You have
now.
to pay on the train. There's loads of stuff now. It's like, well, we have a 5-year-old, so
that's the cut-off. You have to pay.
Yeah. Oh dear. I feel like we've got to keep our eyes peeled for the signs that are 5 and under are free. And it's like, oh, yes, that's a good one. But mostly it's just under 5.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
and the problem is, Lily's won't lie. I mean, good because she's moral, but bad because if an adult said, "How old are you?" she'd be like, "I'm 5."
Yeah,
she's really proud of it.
She's also very tall.
Yeah,
I don't think she could
can't
get
really
away
with it. No,
she's very fashionable. I don't think she looks like an under 5-year-old anymore.
No, it's true.
It's a shame. More money to spend. I would say, despite having a 5-year-old, my hope was that we'd move out of some of the typical, typical toddler behavior, tantrums and meltdowns and bad sleeping. And I don't know, before I became a parent, I assumed all that stuff was confined to 2 and 3-year-olds.
Well, I'd say it just it gets rarer.
Yeah, true. So do you want to explain what happened 2 nights ago?
We were staying in a little hotel.
Yeah, so we'd seen Wicked, the musical.
Yeah.
Very good.
And then, I don't know what time it was.
Middle of the night.
I don't know how I sensed, but I kind of woke up and opened my eyes. And I'm not kidding, basically almost touching my nose with her face. I opened my eyes. That's how close Lily was to me.
Yep.
Standing at my side of the bed. So I screamed. I don't really remember screaming, but Elliot remembers me screaming.
Oh, it woke me up. A sudden scream. I looked over. I feel like this is probably very relatable, particularly if you have younger kids.
Yeah.
We've definitely been through this a lot in the past.
But we didn't expect it.
Yeah. When they have their own room or something, they wander in and then just stand and scare you, looming over you to wake you up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So this hasn't happened in a while, but I think the particularly funny thing about it was that you were on the opposite side of the bed. So we had the double bed, there's her single bed. She'd gone right past me.
Oh yeah.
Walked right round the bed.
If people know London, they're not big hotel rooms. There's maybe a foot between her bed and our bed. So she could have stood up and been right near Elliot's face.
I mean, she could reach me. She could have,
Yes.
like, reached over and tapped me. She could have just got out of bed
But
and
no,
have been next to me.
Instead of standing up
Goes
or
right
tapping
round.
away Elliot, she went right round to my side and then just stood staring at me till I woke up. And in the morning, she was recreating it. And I was going, why did you do that? She was like, well, I wanted you.
Yeah.
I was like, but he was right.
I
He was right
there.
next to you.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, what happened next is I
Yeah.
got kicked out of the bed.
Yeah.
Lily went in the big bed and I got
I was so
relegated to the
relegated.
little bed.
I was so sleepy. I didn't really remember it. And then I was like, when did you come in the bed? And Elliot's like, do you not remember screaming? I was like, oh, yes. Now that you mentioned that, I have a recollection of her face popping up on mine.
If you wonder where Lola is in this story, we didn't bring her to London. She had her first experience sleeping over at her cousin's.
She did, yeah.
I did very well.
She did
First
excellently.
night away
yeah.
from home ever without us.
Well,
So
it gives us great hope. So watch out, Kirsty and Rob, because we might be dropping them off again.
all new experiences this weekend.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Well, if this is a relatable story,
Yeah. If your child ever stood staring at you, the stare of death.
oh, I'm sure they have. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Segue into the conversation.
That was a great segue.
I couldn't think of any relatable thing.
What are those things called? Sorry, this is a tangent.
Oh no, not a tangent
you
so
know,
early.
like people stand on them. Are they called like a Segway?
Oh
like-
yeah.
Like a word like that. You know what I mean? That kind of mode of transport people stand on and it moves. And I'm explaining it really badly, but if people know what I'm thinking of, that'd be really great.
Yes, they are also called a Segway.
Ah, see? So it's when you were saying Segway, that is what I was imagining you standing on.
It's mid-June.
It
We've got about 4 weeks left of the school year, so we thought it was a kind of prime time to chat about how this school year has gone. First year in school for our eldest.
I can't believe it's nearly at the end, to be honest.
I know. Yeah. Definitely. So we'll get into that. Stay tuned for, I don't know if we've got top tips particularly, but we'll sharing the struggles.
And experiences.
Yeah. This is a 2-part episode, but in one episode.
Yep.
So I guess that's just one episode.
That is, yeah.
But what I mean is I think we'll be kind of split in two, where we'll cover in the first half some of the journey through the school year, other people who get it if you've been through this before, or if you're kind of your children are about to go to school, or maybe it's coming up in the next few years. Maybe this gives an insight into what it might be like. And then the second half of the episode, we're going to dive into our flexi-schooling journey. We'll explain more about that later on.
Start at the beginning.
Well, we should say we've done a previous episode.
Yes.
Well, there's a couple of previous episodes that might be relevant to the topic. Particularly last September, we did an episode all about like the first week of school.
Yes,
we talked about the transition from nursery to school. So all that sort of September stuff, the getting into it.
Yeah.
The focus was
buying
on
uniform and stuff. All that stuff.
sort of getting prepared, all that stuff. So if you're interested in that, particularly if you're coming up to starting school, that might be an interesting episode. It lays a lot of the groundwork. But today we'll talk about the journey through the whole year, how stuff has changed from that first week from last September. I want to be positive, but I also feel like I should maybe give
it's pretty positive now.
Caveat.
I think it to go through it, it's hard the first year. But I think we'll talk about it. But I think she's settled in very well and is quite happy now.
Yeah, sure. I just think if your kids aren't at school yet and you're listening to this to prepare, I don't want to scare people.
I don't think it's that bad.
I've had a pretty terrible experience.
Well, okay, but I think I focus on the child focused nature of it, and I think she's been pretty happy.
Yeah, I expected us to get to the point we're at now by October, and it's taken us all year.
Yeah, well, she only been at school a month. We're expecting a lot of progress quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't expect it to take a year.
Right. Well, we'll see. I don't think it's been horrific.
Not comparative to, I think, other people's experiences.
That's what I mean. I feel like it's bad if we go, oh, it's been really bad. And we're like, well, she's been pretty fine. Like some people, like, kid won't have been able, like, anyway, we'll discuss.
Yeah.
But I think people will have struggled a lot more than this.
True. And that's what worries me, though. Like, it's been a really difficult year, and we've had one of the best experiences that anyone we know has had.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which is just really difficult. And so much of it depends on context. You know, like the type of school you're at, the stuff at your school, but also like the support systems you have in place, like whether you have grandparents nearby.
Thought maybe we should start with what surprised you about school, like the most.
Okay.
So my one, as an example, was going to be, I didn't think about how much work it would be for the parents compared to nursery.
Right. What do you mean by that?
So, like, I think adding a uniform to the mix adds an extra layer of, like, preparation that you don't have to do for nursery. For instance, I kept thinking, oh, well, I've had dress-up days at nursery and stuff, but kind of once you realise, oh, well, you have to have, it's just complicated. You have to have books back on certain days.
Yeah.
And, like, there's school trips and I feel like with school, there's always stuff going on that you have to be on it with. Whereas I think, like, nursery's a lot less mental tax for parents. Like, they have dress-up days, but, I mean, at Lola's age, you don't really know if anybody else is dressed up and you're not. It's not really a problem.
Yeah.
Whereas, like...
It's not critical.
At Lily's age, they really notice if you've forgotten something.
Yeah.
Like,
if you forget it's a PE day and have forgotten to wear a PE uniform,
or if you forgot it was like World Book Day or something, like it's much more impactful now. And I feel like we get an email every week telling us something for next week, and I'm like, there's never a week where we're like, oh, it's just a normal week,
right? Yeah,
nothing's happening.
Yeah,
like I think I didn't prepare for the mental taxation of the school system on parents of being like, well, there's going to be an open day, and you're like, well, I should really go to the open day because of what if all the other parents there and I'm not there. Like, there's a lot of instances of.
Is it called an open day? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, they have it. It's like an open afternoon.
Yes, like where parents can go in and like see what they're up to.
Yeah. And obviously, there's like 2 parents' evenings a year, and like a lot of it in.
Have we not got another one coming up? Is there not one at the end of each term?
I don't know, to be honest.
Oh. I assume there would be 3. I assume there's... Because we had one at the end of the first term. I assume we had one at the end of the second term. I assume there'll be one at the end of the summer term.
Well, I might... We'll see. We haven't been told, and I think by now we would have had to be, because they've told us...
We've only got 4 weeks left.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think we can do.
Okay.
But you're right. It would seem like you'd need one.
Yeah.
So that shocked me, I think, like, from a parenting point of view, about how much... Which, once again, that will put people off. You're right with it. But like, it was a surprise to me because I was like, oh, it'll be harder. But I didn't think about how on top of things you have to be once they're at school, just to make sure they feel included and you're not. And basically, because Lily's on it, she'll come home and go, why wasn't this done? Yeah.
I would say, though, I mean, again, depends on the school, although I feel like we've had similar things from other people we know. I think it's mostly due to a lack of good administration at schools.
I think that's true.
They tell you everything last minute. They're very poor at communicating. They're very poor at communicating in a way that actually gets stuff across to you in good time and in good, like you've said before, there's been key information that's buried in an email, not just in an email, but in like an attachment of an email that includes information for all of the school.
Yeah. So when we get an email, it's for all the children in the school, which I get. I do understand that. But it means then you've got to click on the attachment that's like relevant to your year group.
Yeah.
And then go through that attachment almost with a fine like tooth comb and go, what of this is important? It's
been vital for you to make friends with other mums, to have WhatsApp groups with other mums, and to coordinate between you to make sure you all think you have the correct information. Because not only that, there's been multiple occasions where the information in those emails has been incorrect.
Oh, yeah. Either they've put like the wrong dates or it's incomplete information.
Or they send information home verbally with the kids. which comes back so garbled.
Yeah,
you know, with 4-year-olds and some 5-year-olds, of course they can't like remember stuff.
Lily's actually quite good. She often gets you half the information.
Yeah,
She'll often say like, "Oh, we have to." For instance, there was a school trip, and she's like, "We have to bring other shoes with us, so we have to bring wellies and shoes." And then, but she was saying the opposite to what actually it was. She was saying you have to bring wellies in a bag.
yeah,
But actually, you got to bring trainers in a bag.
yeah.
But I kept thinking when I found that information, oh, she's pretty close.
Yeah.
That was pretty good going. But yeah.
Just stuff like that, it's just not well done.
Yeah.
I don't know what the reason particularly for that is, like funding or a myriad of other
there's
reasons.
just so much going on at school. Maybe it's hard to keep on top of everything.
Yeah. And I suppose the whole system and structure is set up for, you know, some of the older kids. And so I'm sure once they're in like years 4, 5 and 6, maybe
yeah, they could probably tell you that.
Some of that, it makes sense. But like, we're talking about a lot of 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work. You've been all right because you've been great at making friends and organising WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
But you feel sorry for some of the other parents. And we do know some who have been left out of that, not always intentionally, just
they're just people who maybe they're not as sociable, like they don't have that kind of community kind of around them,
or like parents who are, you know, separated or something. And so
obviously half of them getting information, like maybe their ex-husband will get information or the ex-wife
because
will
a
get
lot of this
information.
happens in the playground,
Yeah,
because that's when you're bumping into people. Or if you work funny hours and it's grandparents dropping off and picking up kids, you then don't get that interaction, so you never connect with the other.
No,
I'm gonna say mums because it's
normally mums,
like 99.9%. Like, us dads don't do any of this.
No, that's true. I was also going to say another way they often get messages to us is they put like a note in the window as you're dropping off, which if you haven't dropped off, you won't have seen that note.
Yeah.
And therefore, maybe a grandparent won't have read it. They won't have known to look for.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know the school, you won't know that sometimes notes are put in windows, will you? So
and
you
that they're
look.
vitally important.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it feels sorry because that we have seen occasions when other mums have been left out of the loop and then feel really bad that they've missed key information.
Yeah.
And like they've turned up and not realised it's a certain day, or like
dress up days. There's been multiple occasions. There's been children crying, sat because other people are dressed up and
again
not dressed
the
up.
Communication thing that our school really good is like really culturally diverse. There's a lot of different ethnicities,
which is one of the reasons we liked our school.
Fabulous. I don't know how typical it is, you know. I hope that's the case in many schools. I guess in rural Yorkshire it's not always going to be the case.
Possibility,
It might be different where you are. Our school might be actually not very diverse compared to a lot of city schools.
That's true, yeah.
But you know, and so people of other cultures don't always understand, you know, whether they've lived here all their life or not. I'm not, you know, making aspersions on people's backgrounds, but like, there's certain things that don't like always translate.
World Book Day.
Yeah.
I had a few parents. I think because I've become I'm very friendly, but B, people know I normally know everything because I like go over everything.
Yeah.
So I had a few parents come up with me. They've come from all different countries and they were like, so what's Book Day? Because the school hadn't said dress up for Book Day. They just put it's World Book Day.
It's World Book Day and just assumed people knew from that what that meant.
So I'd like two different mums go, do they bring a book in? And I was like, well, you could, but it's mainly just dressing up. And they were like, it's dressing up. And they were amazed because obviously the school hadn't put it's a dress up day.
Yeah.
And then part of me was questioning, you know, when you go, I was like, well, I'm pretty sure you dress up. And they were so funny because does it have to be a book character? Well, I mean, it's meant to be, but just put them in a princess dress.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't
Kids
have a
come
costume, as long as they're dressed up, it's fine. And
particularly 4 and 5 year olds.
It just made me laugh because I forgot culturally, obviously, if you've grown up in the UK, Book Day is a thing.
Yeah.
But for someone who reads the word World Book Day and there's no other context given, what would your mind be going? You'd be like, well, what happened? So, of course, you'd think you bring a book in.
Yeah.
You'd think there was some kind of...
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was funny. But, yeah, so stuff like that.
Well, it wouldn't be if they were better at communicating.
Yes, if they put, this is a day where...
Yeah.
Rather than just, it's World Book Day.
Yeah.
Everybody remember it.
Yeah. I feel like this is just part of a bigger conversation, which... I don't know, we're going to have to cut some of this down, but, you know, like, it's our gripes with the UK education system, which run extensively
Yeah.
through all sorts of things. And this is just one corner of that, which we've experienced now, having been in school a year. Okay, I suppose the other thing, sticking with that, the theme of things that have surprised us as parents, impacts, experiences. You know, we were mentioning about pick up and drop off and grandparents. I think that's the key thing, really, is that I think it's almost impossible. It's just so difficult to navigate without the support of extra people like grandparents who can do pick up and drop off.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's been my big difficulty, is that we've had to do all of that all through the year, and that's been a real challenge to everything. And I'd assumed, this is what I was saying at the beginning when I assumed we'd have settled in quicker, is I naively thought, there's after school clubs.
Yeah.
And I assumed by October she would be in them, and
That's
therefore
true.
pick up wouldn't be till an hour later. But we've got to the end of the year and she has never been ready to go into those after school clubs because she's never settled in enough.
She's about ready now.
But we're about to make a massive jump to year one.
Year one, I'm like, will that be so big a jump? Once again, she'll be exhausted and maybe once again not ready for after
Exactly. And that just, my heart sinks, because this is what's caused me huge stress and a mental breakdown this year, because I've really struggled with losing 3 or 4 hours a day that we previously had to work, that I've got to now fit in somewhere else because we don't have the ability to send someone else to pick the kids up.
And the thing is, I was going to say, because 2 days a week, it's not too bad for you because there's ballet and swimming. But the problem is, some weeks now, she wants you to go to swimming. So that's kind of ruined that day. And ballet's not too bad, but that's still only 1 day you get your extra hour.
Yeah.
Which isn't making up for all the others, really. But she has shown an interest in after school club recently, which is good. But we'll see how after the summer goes.
I mean, we mentioned this in the previous episode, after the first few weeks. The key takeaway was that she was exhausted. It was a massive change.
This is something all parents should be prepared for, especially if you've got a younger reception child.
Well, that's it. I mean, our experience is we have a summer born.
Yeah.
And we'll come on to it when we talk about the flexi-schooling, about the different approaches. And
I know people say it, but mentally they're not the same as they are. You can see with Lily the difference.
Yeah,
now
definitely.
She is fine.
Now she's fine. I've not been ready about the growth she's experienced in the last year and how much behind she would be, not academically, because as an intelligent girl, she's done really well academically, but just being ready for school. And
just almost the maturity level.
Yeah.
And having the emotional capacity to do different
And it's the
things.
stamina.
Yeah.
To cope with that that many days.
Yeah.
We had a comment, one of the people in our WhatsApp group who has a child starting school in this coming September was, concerned about the jump up from, 2 days at nursery up to suddenly 5 days at school. And that is a big jump, impact. Yeah. And we're really just on the threshold of Lily becoming acclimatized to that.
Yeah.
And as we'll talk about later, she has 1 day off a week. We have Fridays off a week.
Yeah.
Whilst that's helped, it's still taken a whole year for her to really get to grips with being at school 4 days a week.
Yeah.
So in terms of how Lily's coped, we've already said she's done very well academically.
Yeah.
The amount she's learned in the year has been
definitely
great. And I know other kids are struggling with it. It is a big jump up.
We can't complain in that regard.
No.
I think the school actually, we really like her teacher. She's made friends, socially as well. She's done well. She's got a lot of friends now. She seems blah 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 blah, comfortable and quite confident with everyone.
Yeah.
And even she's very sweet in that. Yesterday there was a fox in our garden, and I had to take a picture. And I never heard about this boy before, but I won't say his name. I'll make up a name. But she was saying, "Oh, Albert loves foxes. We must show him this picture." So she clearly, even though I hadn't heard the name before, she clearly pays a big interest in what a lot of her friends like.
Yeah. So
then when I was helping out on the school trip, I was like, "Hey, Albert." And I like made him come over and show me the picture of the fox. And I was like, Lily said you'd really like that. And he was like, oh yes, it's one of my favourite animals. And I was like, oh, so it's like it's good to see that she's got friends she cares about and pays attention to and kind of actually knows a lot about them.
Yeah. And again, if you've listened to our previous episodes on this subject, you'll know like one of our main focuses, one of our main motivations for school is that, you know, we're really keen on the social element. And so in that sense, she is thriving. The thing that we want her to get out of school, which is the socializing, she's doing really well at.
Yeah. So that was nice because I was very worried. It was nice. She knew two of the children before she started. And then we made friends with a third one just before. But still, that's only 3 friends going into like a school where you don't know anybody else. So she's done really well actually, because she only had one person in her class she knew the whole time. So.
Yeah. I would say the development though over the year in those regards has been very positive. The things that have been more difficult that you assumed, you know, some of it was challenging initially, the sort of overstimulation. You assumed she'd get used to it, but stuff has emerged gradually in a negative way as well. That she's often says now that school is boring.
Yes.
She's not like, it's lost the novelty factor.
Yes, yeah. The first few weeks,
very monotonous.
It was exciting because it was new. And recently, I mean, to be fair, I was talking to some of the other mums that we all get told the same thing. Like, because I said, just keep telling me it's boring. They were like, yeah, that's what we get.
Which is so disappointing because it's their first year at school. They've got so far to go. And my resounding memory of school was that it was boring. And we know so many other kids that find it's such a shame that even today the education system just doesn't serve them. Tell me though
about a lesson and it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I won't talk to a teacher's name, but they like had a teddy bear and you have to like, the teddy bear's gone to the shop. What's it going to buy?
But this is what really worries me because this year has been way more play focused and our school is really good. Like when she was
describing what they did, I was like, oh, that's a really good activity.
I see loads of stuff online on social media, you know, saying about how reception is often very play focused and it's difficult going into year 1 because it's much less play focused. And I'm there thinking, yeah, she's done well in reception, but she's still saying it's boring.
Yes, that's
like,
true.
What's she going to think once she goes into proper school?
Well, I'm hoping, we'll discuss once she's in year 1, but she might be in a class with year 2 children, which I think then might be good for her to have a bit of a challenge. Because if they're teaching her letters and she knows the letters, it is going to be a bit boring, isn't it? If you're like, well, I know this.
I think this has been
play and
a bit of the dilemma with us in our circumstance, and we can talk about it a bit more in the second half. We've got this duality, I think, where as a summer-born 4-year-old, the maturity starting school has been such a battle because she's young and she would do so much better starting now as a 5-year-old.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
At the same time, academically, she's very clever.
Yeah.
And so, like, she's not too advanced for the material. But like you say, to some extent, I think she might find it boring because she grasps a lot
quickly,
of the phonics and stuff quite quickly, whereas a lot of the other kids struggle. Understandably, it's a big, you know, the learning curve is steep. And so, yeah, maybe more of a challenge would help. But you've got this problem, like the academic and the kind of social development are not at the same point.
True.
And so, I mean, you've not had much of this because she goes in with you fine, but I've had multiple occasions where I have to drag her into school screaming, which I'm fortunate that it's only been a couple of times.
Yes,
lots
of them,
and lots of parents
even
have found this difficult.
There was 2 children crying not wanting to go
I know.
in.
And again, we experienced that in the first few weeks, and I assumed naively that they would get used to it. But a year on, a lot of children still struggle going in the front door, like still have to be dragged in, still cry going in. And it's so difficult. I've had it where we stood at the end of the ginnel where like the path up to school, and like Lily just sat on the floor and cried because she was like, I don't want to go to school today. I mean, we're fortunate as a summer born that she's not 5 yet. We don't have a legal requirement to send her in.
No,
we
like
can
if she was
choose.
having a really bad day, we could not Our problem is you've dragged her there, and I think it sends the wrong message almost to go, we're not going. But
and it's, it's difficult. You have all the parents and the kids walking past you, and you're stuck there with a child having a meltdown, and people are very supportive because they're like, we've all been there.
Yeah.
But, you try and convince her, you try and bribe her, you try and say, look, your friends are going to be there. We'll go and see so-and-so. Like, I had some of her little friends stop and try and convince her to get up and walk into school. Like, she just really didn't want to go in for some reason.
Yeah.
And some days are just like that.
Yeah, I think sometimes they're tired or it's because there's just like a breeding ground for bugs. Like, sometimes they get a bit unwell and it just kind of hits them and they're like, I just don't and I'm like, I get it, you don't want to do stuff when you feel poorly. Like,
yeah, we've had a lot of illnesses.
We have.
It doesn't help. Lola started nursery, so double whammy. And
I would say we've actually, which sounds ridiculous, we have had it better than some people because Lily has been in nursery. She actually has encountered a lot of bugs before.
Yeah.
So she's not that much.
We've had a lot of bugs going around the household, but Lily herself has not had them very badly.
Like, she's not been off school a lot with bugs, really.
No.
There's only been, like, I think twice this year she's been off.
Yeah.
Which, compared to other kids who hadn't been to nursery, they'd be poor things off all the time because it's the first time they've encountered any bugs. Just
the weeks off have been difficult. It's the first time we've experienced half terms and holidays. Of course, we're coming up to our summer holidays, which this year for us is going to be 7 weeks.
Yeah, it's long. It's hard for them now when they're out of routine because they're so used to being in this kind of strict routine of school.
Yeah.
That then they're like, well, I'm not going to school.
Well, we found with half terms having a week off, the half term itself isn't too bad. It's tricky juggling work and life, but like, you can find stuff for them to do.
Yeah.
The tricky bit is going back to school.
Yeah. Because I've been out of routine
You've been out of it for a week and suddenly it's like starting all over again. And for a lot of parents where their kids struggle more than Lily has, it is just like starting again, where suddenly they're, less keen to go to school.
Crying at the gate again.
Yeah. And so with 7 weeks of the summer holidays, I mean...
Like, it's nice because I love spending quality time with them, but I'm like, I don't know when we get to school if she's going to be excited. Like, she'll be like, well, I've been off for ages.
Really tricky. We've not had any, like, problems...
with bullying or anything,
with, some of those negative connotations of school, really. I think it's been okay.
I think it probably helps because she has... so many friends now. I would hope one of her friends would like do something if someone was mean to her, which is nice. But so we can't touch on that issue because we just haven't experienced that, luckily for us.
Yeah. Ad break thing. We've not done this in a while. I can't remember what we do. What do we do? We're here. It's not really ads. We don't get any money, but we are. This is a hobby amateur podcast, but we do like to tell you a bit about why we do it and kind of where our support comes from, and just an encouragement to say, please do support us in the various ways. Click some buttons for us. Share the podcast. Leave us a review on YouTube. We offer a craft we do alongside the podcast, and each episode we do a different craft. In the early days, we used to chat about what craft we were doing.
We did.
That kind of went downhill fast because we were disorganized
and never knew what craft would show up on screen.
It was kind of an excuse also for us to get some stuff, some Disney related content in there and other things, Harry Potter, Star Wars, other things that we enjoyed doing, and a bit of a relaxing time. It fits with the theme of our unwinding, relaxing podcast. At the moment, with 2 kids, crafting is a little bit challenging. So if you're over on YouTube, do leave a comment, subscribe, hit the little bell. And if you'd like to engage with us, we always like to hear back from you. Do get in touch via social media in the various places. Mostly they're all at Don't Wake the Baby _podcast. All this stuff's in the description down below. You know how it works. You know how podcasts work. If not, just listen along. We're quite happy for you to... You know us more than we know you, but that's absolutely fine. And then, of course, we are associated with the Kairos movement, which is a small community of people that are doing things differently, people that are frustrated with church, people that see faith differently and maybe have a different understanding of God. If you're interested in anything about what we do outside of the podcast, the wider work that's around faith-based stuff, and want to come and get to know us and chat about that in those contexts, then you go check that out, all on our webpage, www.kairosmovement.org.uk/don't wake the baby. Thanks for bearing with
it.
Getting through it. If you just skipped ahead, then that's fine too.
Yeah.
I do that with ads. I just skip
I do
through.
as well, most podcasts.
Yeah. So probably no one's listened to any of that bit. But anyway, right, let's get back to the conversation. You'll have picked up that we have Fridays off, and part of that is that we're doing part-time before Compulsory School Age, which is like a precursor to what we'd hoped to do, which is Flexi-Schooling. We did a whole episode on this, I think 2 years ago now, so it was a year before Lily started school. We laid out our hopes and plans for Flexi-Schooling. Of course, stuff has changed along the way, but we lay out some of our ethos and values and why Flexi-Schooling appealed to us. And so this year we've been doing a version of that where she has Fridays basically as a homeschooled student on a Friday. And we can do that because as a summer born, she's not legally required to go to school until the term after she turns 5. And so from September in year 1, and for some children, if you have a 5-year-old at the beginning of the year, this will be the case for reception. You'll have to go in 5 days a week unless the head teacher agrees to Flexi-Schooling, which is distinct from other special arrangements such as part-time, or if you've got like special needs or something, that it means you have a part-time timetable or a staggered or phased thing into school. There's various other...
Some people have like staggered starts.
Yeah, there's things that get confused quite a bit with Flexi-Schooling. It's part-time homeschooling, I think, is the simplest way to express it. How have you found for this year doing Fridays off school?
I think it's been lovely. I think I am, we'll discuss in a minute, but I think I am looking forward to having Fridays with her at school, just because of the work balance. But I think it's been really good for Lily, so I would highly recommend it, in that I think she's learnt so much just from going places on a Friday. And like, it's not only a day for her to decompress outside of the other children, because if people don't know, for Lily, her big thing is noise. So one of her main things she complains about with school is that it's really noisy and there's too many people, which, I mean, fair. So I think it's really nice for her to go to places and still kind of make memories, and we do stuff that sometimes interests her or sometimes we think is just valuable as a learning experience. But no, it's been nice because like it's nice to look through her. We've made a little book and we put pictures in what we do. So it's been nice to look through that book and see all the stuff we've done.
Should we give a quick overview of some of the things we've done? So
we've been to like chocolate making. We went to Jorvik the Viking Museum. We went to Dig, where you can like pretend to be an archaeologist and dig up bones.
Disney on Ice. I took her ice skating.
You took her ice skating.
I took her to a farm park. We've been to museums.
Done an art class.
Cinema.
Well,
one of the Fridays coincided with going to Disneyland for the weekend. So it's given us like extended weekends we can do stuff.
And some Fridays used to take her swimming. Like to
early on we did swimming on a Friday.
Or going around castles and things, like anything that's historical, educational. One day you took them on boats, like
we went on the river. I would say I'd forgotten. In my head I thought I could do a load of outside stuff with Lily. I'd kind of forgotten about the British weather and and that the summer is when she's not at school. So we've only really now in June got to the point where Fridays, and even then not consistently.
Because it often rains.
But like warm enough to go and do outdoor things. And so for the majority of the year, it's been trying to find indoor things to do, which I'd kind of forgotten about. I was, in the middle of rural Yorkshire, I was thinking of all these great outdoor things I could do with her on a Friday, forgetting that for quite a lot of, October, November, December, January, February, March, and well into, some of the spring months, it's going to be cold and wet.
Yeah.
But we have used those Fridays to allow her to decompress, to have a rest from school.
Yeah.
And I think that's been helpful.
Especially if we know, for instance, before, so this weekend as an example, we went to Wicked's in London. That Friday, I was like, we're having a rest day. We're just sitting on the sofa, we're chilling, because tomorrow we're going to be getting a train. It's going to be very complicated. And it just means she's in a better kind of frame of mind and rested up before you do a big thing. Because you've had that Friday off, she hasn't had to go to school and, cope with all those things.
Yeah. The downside, I would say, is I have found it really difficult because the work-life balance,
that's one of the chances
timing,
you could have had to have some extra hours.
It's been a whole, because we basically alternate. So it means every other Friday I've lost that I could have been working. And because I do Thursdays with Lola, it often means on a week with doing a fun Friday with Lily, Flexi School Friday, I've lost Thursday, Friday. I've only got 3 days to work until 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Quite often it's coincided with illness, which means I've been off work for a couple of days. And I find my weeks disappear and I'm like, I've done 1 day of work this week. It's just been so difficult. And I don't know, looking back, it's sort of the right decision. I don't think we could have done anything else. I think it's certainly been better than going 5 days a week for her. I think so much of this conversation is this balancing act that parents often have, which is the self-sacrifice. Is this best for the kid, or is this going to make my life easier? And so often, I think this is why we've had a lot of trouble this past year, because we're a little bit at odds.
Yeah,
is that true. You always fall on the side of we'll do what's best for the children.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Always.
Yeah.
And I've had such a difficult year that I can't do that anymore. I have to prioritize myself, and so it's been really difficult giving things up in order to prioritize the kids when it's actively destroying my own life. But I don't know, looking back, I think I would have much more, after this year, I think I would have much more seriously considered doing the, what's it called? Not delayed start, but where you as a summer born, you have an option to defer entry.
Yes, yeah.
So you could start school the following year as an already 5-year-old. We didn't really give that much serious consideration.
Well, I think our problem is because we know Lily's clever in academics. We'd be like, well, it'd be silly not to put her in. Yeah, I think she'd have done equally well. It's hard now to think about because I now can see all the friends she's made and stuff. I'm like, oh, well, we wouldn't be friends with so-and-so and so-and-so. We delayed it. Do you know what I mean?
In terms of Lily's friends or your friends?
Lily's friends.
Right.
So in my head, I'm like, I can't imagine her not having the friends she has. But I do understand, deferring a year could have worked.
Like you say, I think we're between a rock and a hard place, because I think then she would have been doubly ahead in terms of some of the academic stuff, which again would have made school even more boring.
And I think it would have been hard for her, because we know someone else at her nursery where basically their cohort all leave and you're left at nursery.
Yeah.
I think that's really hard.
But she would have been more ready, not necessarily socially, but just ready for what a big jump it is.
I think it's just sad when you, Lily has done well, but some summerborns, they are so young going in. Even when you see them and you look at them, you're like, they look so little. Well,
there's been so much talk in the media and with the government recently in the UK about kids not being school ready and what a big problem this is, and what blaming parents and all sorts of other things. And I'm like, do you not realize? And it's so frustrating, looking at Facebook comments and stuff, and a lot of the older generations being like, in my day, kids were ready for school. They were potty trained. They were this and that. And I'm like, do you realize some kids will only be a few weeks from being a 3-year-old? They would have turned 4 only a few weeks ago. Up until recently, they were 3, and now they are starting school. Like, we're not talking about 5-year-olds.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
5-year-olds, nearly all of them are potty trained and they can cope with school. What we're talking about is 3-year-olds who have just turned 4 and then they're immediately starting school.
Yeah.
And that is so difficult.
It is. And I think especially, and I know it's hard because you've got to cut a foot at some point.
Yeah, true.
I get it's always going to be a problem.
Although saying that, I mean, it didn't work, but when I started school, it was a bizarre system where you started like midway through the year whenever you turned 5. So like I started school in the final summer term before I was about to turn 5, and other kids had been there since September because they turned 5 earlier. Like, that was a bizarre system.
I can get why they think it makes sense. But at the same time, I'd be like, well, you've missed out on whatever the learning was. I missed out on most of a year of education. Yeah. Like, and I get, yeah, it doesn't work either, does it?
No, it doesn't work. So I guess there isn't a good solution. Well, just let all kids start later.
Yeah,
that's the solution.
Yeah, age it up
and don't blame parents and kids for 3-year-olds not being ready. Yeah, but anyway, as we've hinted at, we are not going to be able to continue with flexi-schooling into year 1.
I think because we already know, and we do like our school. I'm not going to say we don't. I think it is a good school. We know other people basically have applied and been rejected. They've never allowed flexi-schooling.
Yeah.
I think one of the main reasons for this is because of the government policy on absences.
Attendance, there's a massive pressure for attendance.
And because flexi-schooling doesn't have a special code or anything, they would have to mark it as an agreed absence. It still would put all their rates down.
An authorised absence where when they show it to Ofsted, they can say these are flexi-schooling, that's why they're not here.
Yeah.
But on their general statistics, it shows as an absence.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame. Like, Lily's teacher has been really positive about the whole experience and said it's clearly done really well for Lily and that they're not worried about her, that they wish other kids could do similar things. Like,
so she was basically explaining her teacher how there's a few children like Lily who they've picked up things really quickly, and actually a good thing for them to do is to go maybe, into the outside world, experience something. And then on that day, she can focus on some of the children who haven't picked it up. And she was saying that's actually a really good system.
Yeah.
But obviously that's not the way our education system's made. So a lot of this, I just don't blame our school. I think they're under an awful lot of pressure. And it is hard for them to go, yes, you would be allowed to flexi school, but it will bring our rate down when it's already low.
And it's difficult, we've spent several years considering this option, being really keen on it. We did a whole episode talking about why we wanted to do it, how it fits with our values, and now
it still fits with our values.
But we've had to abandon our plan and our vision and our hopes for what Lily's school education would be like.
Yeah.
Because it's just not possible.
I think though, it's almost for the greater good. Once they've settled and they're happy and they've got their friends, I wouldn't want to move her to a school, do you know what I mean, for the sake of it when she's happy.
Yeah, well, I disagree. There's a bit of tension we've got with house hunting.
Yeah.
In that I have no reason to stay in this local area, whereas you want to keep her at school. Yeah. Because she's settled and happy there.
And got her friends.
But I think at this age, she'll be settled and happy wherever we go. And it is a good school.
It is,
But the challenges we face, I think, are the challenges we'd face at any school. And I think she finds this school boring. She'd find any school boring.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
She'd make new friends just as easily as she's made these friends.
Well, yes. But I think...
in my brain, basing our massive life decisions on keeping her at primary school, that in the bigger picture is quite a small portion of her life.
That is true. I think I've seen other children struggle who we've maybe a year or two older than Lily, when they've been moved, just because it's such a upheaval. Even a new house is an upheaval.
Yeah, true.
Never mind a slightly different location, making new friends, being do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just having that everything on top of it all.
I mean, I think this comes back to the flexi schooling thing and having to abandon our perfected ideal of what in an ideal world we wanted to happen. We don't live in like
No,
a fantasy
true, yeah.
where we get our ideal version of life.
Yeah.
Like I've had to come to terms with things haven't panned out how we hoped they would. Like I really hoped we'd have bought a house and be settled and fixed somewhere before either of our kids started school.
Yeah, true.
So that we wouldn't be having these difficult conversations about where do we move? Do we move schools?
True,
Do we have to
uproot everyone?
Like, but that's not how life has turned out.
Yeah.
And like a lot of parenting, I think is a bit like that, where you just, we can discuss what the ideal scenario is, but we have to live within the reality of.
Yeah. And I think now she's settled enough for Friday. Like we were discussing it today as we walked, and she seemed not unhappy about going in on a Friday. Like she was kind of accepted, because I was selling it as well. It's what happens in year one.
Yeah. So you've begun to broach with Lily, because I've been very worried about this.
Oh no, I've been doing it for weeks.
Right.
Because I thought it'd be a big change.
Yeah, because I was worried that we hadn't yet talked to her about the fact that her teacher's going to change.
No, we've discussed all of this.
And that she's going into year one, that she'll have to go in on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've discussed it a lot. Well, me and Lily discussed it a lot. And she seems quite, I think, once again, the thrill of newness is quite exciting for her. So she's quite excited by the idea of year one, and that it's a big class.
That's good.
And she said it's okay because nobody's allowed off on Fridays.
Yeah.
And I just sold it as that's the rule.
Yeah.
So, we have to follow the rules. She's happy with that.
Again, I think as a 5-year-old, she's just mentally a lot better able to cope with some of this rigid structure that as a 4-year-old she pushed back again. Things like school uniform. It's a lot easier now to say, well, this is just what you have to do, and she'll go, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas as a young 4-year-old, that was just a difficult concept for her to grasp. Why can't I do what I want to do?
Yes, yeah.
Any top tips for surviving the first year of school?
I found Lily's been a lot happier now. She's got 2 clubs to go to during the week.
Yeah.
Like
I
they
know
are a pain.
A lot of parents find it annoying. All the clubs, they can be expensive.
Yeah,
we kind of use them as bribes.
Yeah,
like
it's like
Lily
if you go to
enjoys
school
them.
today, got ballet tonight.
Yeah,
if you go to school today, you got swimming after school, and then it kind of makes her happier to go in because she's got something.
We're not making her
that's
do
fun.
clubs for the sake of it,
Oh,
or
no.
she's only doing things that she wants to do.
Yeah.
And like, there's other skills and stuff that have developed over the year that, at the beginning you worry about how they'll cope with. I was just looking at some of the comments from people in our group about what they're thinking about as kids go into the first year of school. Obviously, things like toileting and things like coping with 5 days a week. But, things like dressing and undressing themselves. We've mentioned like they wear their PE kit uniform on that day.
So that's not normally a problem.
But like, with schools and clubs, like it has been impressive how Lily can now go to stuff on her own.
Yeah.
Like with ballet, she has to change shoes like halfway through when she goes from the ballet into tap shoes. And like she can get herself dressed and undressed.
Yeah.
She can take herself to the toilet by herself. Like there's quite a few like milestones that I think have crept up on us.
Yeah, true.
That like we now take for granted that like she was getting there at the beginning of the year, but it was slightly more like, well, she can sort of get herself dressed, but she'll probably put her clothes on all inside out or something.
Yeah, something will be a little bit wrong. Yeah.
But now, as we've got to the end, she's turned 5, and all this stuff she's really proficient at, and it's like really good. It's great to see that development. I don't know what you'd call some of that stuff because it's not. It's not emotional or intelligence, or it's just like these day-to-day skills.
Yeah, more like just physical.
That
skills.
Just through the practice of doing it all through the year, you do get that.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about our experience, but it'd be good to.
There's a lot on Mum's Net about them just being exhausted when they first start school. So I'd say don't be surprised if like their personality changes and they have tantrums and they're laid out. Like I think when they first start, they're just so tired because it's not only new information, it's just a new setting and new people, and it's all a bit overwhelming for them.
The difficulty with parenting is that tiredness doesn't always present itself in like,
and like,
I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to sleep in
Yeah,
lots. Like, that's not how tiredness in little ones,
No.
it
Like,
means
I'm gonna
acting
have
out.
a tantrum.
It means development backsliding. It
Yeah.
means, being argumentative and like purposely trying to push boundaries. All great stuff.
Yeah, so we explain any of that. That's just perfectly normal when they first start.
Yeah.
What are our big positives from school? Because I don't know many of our
Big positives from school?
Yeah.
You want to go first?
I think she's made friends, and I always like find it nice when she actually gets invited to things and her little friends ask her for play dates. Like, she's clearly made good friendships. I know she says she finds school boring, but I actually think when she tells me about things that happen at school, she seems quite excited about what they did.
Oh yeah, she loves reenacting.
Yes, and we have to
like,
play
lessons.
school all the time.
Yeah.
So I actually think she does. I think it will be a bit boring, but I think even when she says that, she actually has had a nice time.
The grandparents think she loves school because with them, she's constantly like giving them lessons, telling them about phonics.
Well, I think she does love school because she's an academic.
Yeah,
she loves certain aspects of school, definitely.
Like, but they don't see the struggles of getting her dressed on a morning or dragging her in crying or like the exhaustion after a week of school.
Fair. Do you feel like it's hard? Because I've never had to drag her in crying.
Yes.
So she only does that with you. So it's hard for them to see that. And we really like her teacher.
Yeah.
That's been a big positive for us, that she's had a really nice teacher. And obviously now I was over like a bit anxiety about her next teacher. And will they be as good?
Yeah.
Because nobody might not be as good as our first teacher. But from talking to the other mums who've had kids in the next year, all the teachers seem nice. So that all seems good. She's definitely like happy talking to people about her school and telling them what she does. And
I get annoyed that a lot of people only want to talk to her about school. Like, they find out her age and they're like, oh, you're at school. How's school? What do you do? And it's a bit like, as adults, people only want to talk to you about your work. It's like, that isn't your whole personality. They never ask her, like, what are your interests? Like, what's your favourite, TV or princess, or like, what do you do for fun? Like, they're always asking, like, how's school? Do you like your teacher? Like, and like, and Lily never responds well because it's like, I don't want to talk about school. Like, I go to school all the time. Like,
it's also like, what, they don't know your teacher or your school, so it's weirdly out of context most of the time. No, but I think especially mixing with like a different range of children's very good for her, because we're like white and middle class and we're quite privileged. And it's, I think it's been an eye opener for her, but then not everybody is like that.
True.
Which is good.
We didn't encounter that so much at nursery because, at a private nursery, we're at quite a fancy one. And so most people that went there, you had to be able to afford it.
Yeah.
But it just attracted a particularly like middle class.
Yes.
And we live in like Harrogate, quite a middle class, wealthy place as it is. So yeah, no, really good. You're right. Like, mixing with other groups is really positive. Like, now, at the end of the year, you've made friends with other mums, and so
it's been a bit easier.
Because you each, like, you can say to each other, "Can you pick up my kid?" Like, they go
been
round
occasions
for
where
meals.
I'm like, if Lola's ill, I'm like, can somebody go pick up Lily because I can't leave the house.
You now have built
that.
a support structure out of the people at school who you're friends with and well enough, and Lily knows the parents well enough that...
And you trust them enough to be like, they can go to your house, that's fine.
Yeah. And that's been really helpful. But when you start, you don't have any of those relationships. And so, most people rely on grandparents. We're not in a position to be able to do that. No.
Maybe that's a good tip. If you like make close friends, it's quite nice to make a little village where you can look after each other's kids. Like, it is, and it is handy now because one of my mum friends is like, oh, just, in the summer holidays, I'm off every Wednesday, so you're welcome to drop her off. And it's like stuff like that. It's become much easier.
Yeah.
Now we've got cemented friendships that we're like, great. So that means on a Wednesday, if we want to work that day, they can look after her. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's certain things where once you've got a village, it's much easier.
Yeah.
So it is, you're right. We haven't really talked about this, but it's got much easier now. We have cemented friends because pickups are just a lot easier. And if something happens, you're like, oh, well, if the worst happened, we're busy, someone can be there. We know enough people. So it is good now, I think. And maybe when you say you want to move, it's one of the reasons it's good at the minute staying here is because we do have quite a good village.
Yeah. Well, you do.
I do, yeah.
I don't have friends with anyone.
No,
but
that's
you
true.
have connections
Yes.
with people.
But that, you need to go out and find some friends.
Well, it's very difficult.
It is difficult, yeah.
Okay, well, we better wrap this up. Either this is going to be a long episode or I'm going to do a lot of cutting down. Who knows? You'll know
It's
by
very
this point.
higgledy-piggledy,
Yes.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, as a lot of our conversations are.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get a lot of time to plan before we sit down and just blurt all our thoughts out onto the microphones.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very good phrasing. I think that's what we do. We just like blah, 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 blah.
Thank you for listening. I hope it's been either helpful or entertaining or interesting. I don't know if it's been any of those things. If you've been through this experience yourself, hopefully it's relatable and
We didn't mention accident reports.
Accident reports?
Yes, that's something that I didn't know happened at school.
Yeah, well, I mean...
We don't have many, but I was shocked the first time we got one.
We talked a lot about it.
Oh, that's true.
When she started school, because she got a lot of accidents in those first few weeks and then slowly less and less and less.
Yes.
So, that's fine. I think we've covered it.
I've got another thing as well.
Oh no, what's your next thing?
I would say don't be worried if your kid doesn't tell you anything about school.
Yes.
Because a lot, like, Lily didn't tell me. One of her close friends was taken to hospital.
What?
Did you know
this?
this?
Oh, yes.
And she didn't tell me till another mum went, oh, did you hear about so-and-so? And I was like, oh, no. And Lily was like, oh, yes, he went to hospital. I was like, what? I asked you yesterday, oh, how was school? You're like, fine.
No, I'm used to this because...
Not my friend went to hospital?
When I collect Lily, I say to Lily, how was school? I try and ask interesting questions, but I get nothing from her. She tells me absolutely nothing
As I normally get, she tells me what she's eaten and who she's played with.
Yeah. I know a lot of children don't tell their parents anything about what's happened at school.
I'm just saying that shocked me. I thought that of all the things would have been memorable.
Again, we kind of covered that in the...
Yes,
because we talked about how at nursery you get an app.
Yes.
You hear everything, whereas at school you hear nothing. We'll be back with a new topic next time.
Yes.
And do tune in and hear our thoughts on something else. We'll probably be focusing increasingly on Lola going forward.
We will, yes.
She's the little toddler now, whereas Lily's a big 5-year-old, and the podcast is focused really on under 5s.
I know, but she'll still be mentioned.
I know.
She's not that big. Although Lola, I must say, is getting crazier and crazier, so there's going to be a lot of content about Lola.
We'll talk a lot about Lola.
These second children, they're a different make.
Sleep well, God bless.
Don't wake
Thanks
the baby.
for joining us in the Blanket Fort. Goodie bye.
Goodbye.
Bye good. Off your pop.
Off your pops are nice, I like